Well, after a wild opening weekend of March Madness, it's worth taking a peek at the odds to win the Natty, and the path is now clear for Alabama and Houston, the only two 1 seeds that are left. Crimson Tide, the favorites, plus 360. Cougars next, plus 375. UCLA, the only team with odds in triple digits. Then it's 10-1 for Texas and UConn and beyond. In terms of who our experts picked to cut down the net, well, Gary Parrish, Kyle Boone, Matt Norlander. They're all on Houston. Jerry Palm, Tim Doyle, David Cobb, all on Bama. But look at these guys. Chip Patterson, Dennis Dodd, Josh Nagel. They're done. They're done. Patterson had Kansas. Dodd had Arizona. Nagel had Baylor. Those brackets, done. All right, so as we shift the focus to the Sweet 16, let's bring back a guy who is very familiar with his bracket because it's still alive, our Matt Norlander. Matt, how you feeling about your bracket at this point?
You know what? I'm feeling pretty good. I've still got 3 of my final 4 teams in the bracket. I had Purdue, as most people did, at least having Purdue move on to, I don't know, the second round. That didn't quite work out. So I'm feeling good. But if you check that those title odds that we just had on the screen, a lot of those teams are coming from the right side of the bracket, which is going to make for an interesting little experiment here as we take a tour through. Listen, all right, we're allowed second chances, right? I'm a believer in second chances, Jeremy. I think you are as well. So I'm excited to see what we've got here. You want me just to roll?
Yeah, you know what,
I'll
Matt,
roll if you want me to roll.
Yeah, just rip through it. What do you got for us?
Okay.
Make those predictions.
Okay. I'm going to take Alabama over San Diego State. I'm telling you right now, San Diego State's going to make that a game, though, and an upset is very much on the table. Creighton, Princeton. I had Creighton over Arizona, so yes, I will take Creighton over the Tigers. But the idea that Princeton might play for an Elite Eight is an amazing thing to me. But yes, Jays, Bama, I had that in my original bracket. Going down, leaving the South and moving along to where I will be, the East, Madison Square Garden. Tennessee looks so impressive. Give me FAU. They've got the depth, they've got the size, they've got the ability. I think they can do it. And then Kansas State, Michigan State. Jerome Tang is the front runner for National Coach of the Year. I think they've got plenty there. I don't want to doubt Izzo again, but I have to go with K-State. It's going to have the 2 best players on the floor, in my opinion, in Noel and Keontae Johnson. All right, now we're going down on the screen, but this is the right side and what I like to say, the bracket of your mind. Houston, Miami is incredible. I just watched Miami so impressively get past Indiana, but the Cougars are going to continue to move on when they're there in KC. And then I had this matchup. I had both these matchups in my bracket. I had Xavier from Selection Sunday beating Texas, so I am unchanged there. That offense is incredibly impressive. We saw what it was able to do on Sunday and just getting past Pitt. Going down to the West. Whoo! Look at this.
Oh.
First of all, you've got your short kings here. Hurley, Must, Cronin, and Few. Short king galore. Love to see it. Hurley's like the giant among all these 4. I will take UConn past Arkansas in a phenomenal, that is an incredible Sweet 16 matchup. Arkansas trying to go for a 3rd straight Elite Eight. Hurley's never been to a Sweet 16 until now in his career. And then I will go, it's my favorite matchup of all, I will go Gonzaga, which I had this. Gonzaga over UCLA in my original bracket. I did have this matchup. Gonzaga playing UConn in the regional finals. Alabama versus Creighton. I had Creighton beating Alabama the night of Selection Sunday when we got the bracket. I am not shifting off of that. I have Greg McDermott's Creighton Blue Jays going to the Final Four. FAU K-State, give it to me. Let's go. We've had a pattern of this. FAU to the Final Four, joining the likes of Butler, George Mason, Wichita State, Loyola Chicago. We have had these Cinderella stories. FAU is going to get to Houston. The other side of the bracket, which means one of those 2 teams are going to play for the title. What are we doing here? Houston against Xavier. I had this in my original bracket. Cougars. They're going to H-Town. They're going back home. They're going to get past Xavier. That is a potentially just tremendous regional final. And then I am going to take from my original one. I had Gonzaga beating UConn. Oh, boy. The matchups on the right side of this bracket are unbelievable. So, yes, sticking there. So, Houston, Gonzaga, and Creighton for me remain unchanged. I had those 3 teams in my original Final Four. FAU is now there in place of Purdue. I will have the Creighton Blue Jays beating FAU. So I've got bird-on-bird crime here, but I've got the Jays beating the Owls. I've got the Jays beating... It's foul, I tell you. It's foul. But I will have a preseason top 10 Blue Jays team playing for the title. And then I've got Houston against Creighton. I have no idea if these 2 teams have ever played each other in their history, but a 1 versus a 6. And I've got a pretty reasonable matchup there. All things considered, Creighton has the roster, has the starting lineup, has the defense, the shooting. So I've got a 1 versus 6 in the title game, Jeremy.
I just can't believe you have Florida Atlantic getting to the last four. I mean, what an accomplishment that would be for Dusty May and that squad and that school, knowing Florida Atlantic having covered Conference USA. I mean, big for them. All right, so, I mean, you've got Creighton and Houston in the title game, 6 versus 1. Who wins it?
I'm going to take Houston to beat Creighton. Houston was my pick at the start of the tournament. I'm not shifting off of that. It's the best team in college basketball. That's been bared out by the statistics over the past 4 months. Marcus Sasser was tremendous in helping Houston get past Auburn, and doing so when having a lot of foul trouble. But that guard attack combined with Jarris Walker's a big that's going to be taken in the lottery. They've got Kelvin Sampson, who in the eyes of many is frankly considered, and there's a lot of, he has company in this, but he is considered the best coach without a national title in college basketball at this stage. You can make a case for, yes, Painter, even after Purdue lost. Some people would say Sean Miller. There's actually quite a few coaches out there right now that are still alive in this tournament that are considered in that conversation. But Kelvin Sampson is considered the best coach in the sport without a national title. And so I'm going to go with Houston over Creighton to win it.
And they're plus 375.
And by the way, if I can, as we do this, I've got a source telling me right now that Ed Cooley to Georgetown is done.
Okay.
So that has happened. I just got a source that just found me on that right now. So live TV just wanted to. It's not related to the bracket, but I just have that coming in as we speak here.
Okay, so what do you think of this move, Cooley to Georgetown? I mean, obviously, you know, he's spent a lot of time with Providence, with the Friars, you know, taking that program to 7 NCAA tournaments. What does he bring to this Georgetown program?
I mean, he brings a lot of experience here, and you know, this is a well-connected source, and this source is saying it is done. He brings listen, this is a massive move for the Big East. Cooley has more NCAA tournament appearances at Providence than any coach in that program's history. He's from Providence. This is going to be the first coaching hire at Georgetown not connected to John Thompson Jr. since 1972. It will invigorate that fan base. It is going to be create just major amounts of drama within the Big East. This was not an easy decision for Ed Cooley. I had a source tell me earlier today that Cooley met with his family just to make sure that this is indeed was the spot there. So no, it is a major thing for Georgetown. It's got its guy. Now an opening happens at Providence. We'll see where they go.
And how high profile is that Providence program? I mean, in terms of the job opening that's there now, what's next for the Friars?
We will see. I think they might try and target like a Micah Shrewsbury, but we have to. That is to be determined here in real time, Jeremy. I know that Providence has a list. It's a matter of the candidates that they're going after and who will listen to that job offer. It's a good job. Cooley made an even better job, but objectively speaking, Georgetown is the better job. That also obviously played a part in Cooley's decision making here.
Matthew, great stuff as always. College basketball writer, our college basketball insider. He's doing it all as a podcast host. He's Matt Norlander. Breaking news for us here on HQ. Great stuff as always, Matt. And as we go through a few days between games, just a reminder, now's a great time to download the March Madness Live app. Get every game on your phone, tablet, or favorite streaming device. Some great games to come in the Sweet 16, so get ready for every minute. Get that March Madness Live app right now.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.